Alrighty, so we are going to do your CVC dressing change here. The kit is a little bit different than the previous video, so the supplies that you need are your CVC dressing kit here, your stat lock, your bio patch, your extra set of sterile gloves, and then we will be using regular gloves, your sandy cloths, hand sanitizer, and alcohol swabs. There is alcohol in here you could use, but it's at the bottom of your kit, and it's just easier to use these alcohol swabs to help you get the stat lock off. Alright, I'm going to be doing some extra talking, since I'm going to help you try to remember sterile field and that kind of thing, so when you go to do it, you should be faster by the time you go into your trach off. Shouldn't take as long as this video. Alright, well, let me put that back up here. So, you came into your patient's room. Knock, knock, knock. Hi, my name is Aubrey. I'm going to be your nurse today. Can I go ahead? What is your name and date of birth? So go ahead and you'll have an order with the name, date of birth. Alright, and his arm is down here with the, got Jerry Jones, date of birth 9/3/1957. That looks like it correlates there with my order. So we're going to move on. Alright, so my bed is already raised to a comfortable height to make sure that it looked good for the camera. So that's all good. The patient is up in supine, slightly elevated. You don't have to have them up this high, but it seems to look better on the camera this way. Mr. Jones, I'm going to have you remain still throughout this procedure while we go ahead and do your CVC site. I'm going to go ahead and place this here for a second. And I have that other side rail up for your safety. And what I'm trying to do now is just clean off the side table here. Here we go. So we're going to clean this off. Make sure it's all good. Ready to go. Put that there. Make sure that you take these gloves off. Do your hand hygiene. Alright. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and I'm just going to loosen the outer edges of the dressing here first. I'm not taking the dressing off yet. We're going to do that after we open the kit so that it's open to air for the least amount of time. Alright, so we still have the trach here, and you guys probably will have a trach with your patient, so make sure that this line here, the balloon for the trach, does not get in your way, because that would be a part of breaking sterile field. That dressing underneath, and that when you're done, that the dressing of the trach tie, any other part of the trach tie, is not inside of your actual dressing. That would be bad. Alright. Well, I'm just going to go for it here. So the first part here is there's this tape that goes underneath. I know it's hard for you to see here, but there is a piece of tape that is securing it down, kind of like a V like this. And we call this the pants of the dressing. It keeps it so that the line doesn't tear out. You need to take that off first. If the person before you did it correctly, it should be on there. So I'm just going to take that off first. I've got my trash can over here. And now what I'm going to do is loosen it up. I'm going to fold it in and on itself. And what you need to do is make sure that the bio patch, which is this blue thing right here, the bio patch, which is the insertion site, stays covered, and then this stat lock stays covered. So all I'm doing is taking the part off around that. That's why I'm holding my hand here like this. Make sure that I keep that covered. And there are these wings here to the stat lock, and you'll see that because we don't have the stat lock fully applied to the mannequin, because we can't, you need to make sure that you pull the wing part down like that off of the dressing, but I still have the clear part covered there. All right, so I'm going around, making sure. What I want to do is be able to take this off with one hand and one clean swipe here in a second. All right, so all that, the sight, the clear part of the stat lock is all still covered up, but the pants are off, and then the wings are uncovered as well. All right, now you're going to take these gloves off. You're going to perform hand hygiene. I'm going to get my stuff ready here. I've got my kit, make sure you can see everything here. Bio patch, stat lock, extra set of gloves, and I need to turn and grab some alcohol swabs. I'm going to go ahead and open them. You can take them all the way out. These don't need to be sterile. They're just to help us take the stat lock off. If you read the stat lock itself, it says remove with alcohol, so we need to make sure that we have our alcohol swabs ready. All right, here we go here. And I've got them over here so I don't have to reach over top of anything so I don't break sterile. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with opening my CVC here. I'm gonna use sterile technique, so I'm opening it with the opening away, but see how my arm is not coming over and I'm not crossing anything there. Peel it back like this. And because you guys are going to be using this kit to practice with, I'm going to do it just like how you would practice. You're going to go ahead and leave this here, this top part. If you want to during your check off, you can pull it off, but you want to keep it open for now. Yeah. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab into my tray without touching anything else and pull out these two masks. Now, this is a sterile field. You cannot turn your back on your sterile field. So if you need to move this closer to your patient like this so that you can reach everything, go ahead and do that. All right, so this is open. I can touch the outside of it, but not the inside. You're going to go ahead and you're going to place the mask on your patient. The wire part, the hard part, goes around their nose and then around their ears here. Mr. Jones, I'm just putting a mask on here for you, and I'm going to tilt your head away from the site. All right? And I'm going to go ahead and put my mask on too. Now you guys, during your check-off, you have to have your mask up the entire time. Because I'm doing a video here, I'm going to pull my mask down so that you can actually understand what I'm saying. All right. So then you're going to go ahead and pull these sterile gloves out. So I'm going to pull these gloves out. Just pick it up, pull it out. The outside of the wrapper you can touch, remember, just not the inside of the wrapper. And then with this kit, I need to add a bio patch and a stat lock. So you need to open them sterilely, where it says peel here. Probably be a good idea, huh? Okay, so I'm opening it so that the opening is away from me. I'm not touching the bio patch, and I'm not holding it over my tray while I'm opening it. I'm just going to bring it this way and drop it in to my tray. Remember, you have the 6 inches. You could throw this away for your check off. Keep it for your practicing. You want to keep your packages because you want to practice dropping this stuff in. Then you have your stat lock. So you're going to open it. Oh, can you see? Yeah, away from me here. And you're going to hold it above, and you're going to drop it in. Whew, made it. And I'm going to keep this also. I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to come to the side. So I'm never turning my back here on my patient. I'm going to keep my hand sanitizer here. Ooh, can you see? I'll put this over here. Keep my hand sanitizer here so that you can use it lots of times. And the first thing I'm going to do is apply my first set of gloves. It doesn't really matter which set of gloves you apply first. I'm just going to go ahead and do this one. Alright, so this wrapper can go over top of this other stuff. Oop, there it went. Well, it's a good thing we don't have any sterile gloves on yet. Ugh. Let's just put that here for now. Anyways. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is put your sterile gloves on. Now, okay, you can see me. So I'm going to step back. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to pick it up here at the bottom. Go back a little bit because I don't want to cross over that arm, that glove. I'm going to put this first glove on. Leave it up like that. Then I'm going to take it and go underneath here, keeping this thumb up. Remember, keep your hitchhiker thumb up. Take your glove, put it on, boom. And then you can pull this down as well. You can just leave that there if you want to. You don't need to worry about getting it out of the way. All right, here we go. So we're going to turn towards our patient, and it's at this time, I've done too much stuff here, that you're gonna pick a sterile hand and a dirty hand. So I'm going to use my right, or clean, I guess, sterile and clean. I'm going to use my right hand as my clean hand, aka dirty, because it's easier for me to get to, like, I'm going to be doing the most work with my dirty or clean hand. So this hand, watch it, because it needs to stay sterile. Sometimes people accidentally, like, touch their patient with it, or they touch the bed with it. You can hold your hand here with your elbow up, like this. This helps students sometimes not contaminate this hand right here. And watch out, because you don't want to get your elbow over your sterile field either. That's kind of why I pushed it back a little bit with my foot here. So my dirty hand, this is now, or clean, is now, you know, contaminated. You are going to take this off. You start at the bottom, and you're going to take it towards the insertion site. Alright, and my bio patch, because the person in front of me did it correctly, the bio patch was that blue thing that was around the site that came off with it. Here it is. Do not throw this away when you're practicing in lab or anything like that. I'm just going to take it and drop it here onto my the glove thing, because that bio patch is going to go back into my kit. Same with this stat lock. That's going to go back into your kit. If the bio patch did not come off, it's at this time that with your sterile hand, you would go and you would take that bio patch off with that sterile hand. Alrighty? Then what you're going to do is you're going to stabilize the insertion site here with your sterile hand. And you're going to unlock the stabilization device. So this is the stabilization device here. This is our stat lock. And because it's not fully applied to the mannequin, someone's going to have to probably hold it down for you. So your sterile hand is up here at the site, because sterile can touch the site only. So I'm going to unlock this. See how it comes up a little bit when I do that? You unlock it from the bottom. When you put this on, the arrow should be pointed up. And let's see if I can get this one without. Okay, so remember, somebody has to hold this for you so that you can easily open it. This side's wanting to come up. Alright, so I'm just going to use my thumb here, pretend that that's my instructor holding it down. Okay? So I'm not going to use my thumb anymore. It would have been contaminated, but that was my instructor holding it down there. So this part of my hand is still sterile, ready to go. You're going to pull the line out and off to the side. Okay? Your sterile hand can touch, so my thumb's not sterile, right? See this? This would be called the hub. The hub is the part right here that was attached to the stat lock. Your sterile hand can touch the hub above the hub, and your dirty hand or clean hand can touch below the hub. Alright, so my dirty hand's down here below the hub, sterile hand is above the hub. And this is where your alcohol swabs come into play. You're going to take the alcohol swabs, you can go ahead and put the alcohol swab onto the mannequin. It's fine. The alcohol swab helps you take that stat lock off. And it should not be very much applied to the mannequin. Only a little teeny bit of it should be torn off before you. And you could throw this away, but we're just going to set it right there because that one is going to go back into our kit when we are done. Now I'm going to keep my sterile hand here and I'm going to do an assessment of the site. Starting in the middle, I'm going to palpate outward, so don't go back in because skin is not sterile. Even though it was under the dressing, the skin itself is not sterile, so and it's not really clean. You're just going to palpate around. You're feeling for any crepitus, and under it would be like a Rice Krispie treat popping under your skin or under your finger. Any tenderness? Jerry, are you experiencing any tenderness? I'm also doing some warmth here. All right. Whew. That's that. So tenderness, crepitus, I'm looking for redness, warmth, swelling, all that kind of stuff. So there's the site. It's ready to go. So now I'm going to take these gloves off. Here. Keep your gloves for practicing. So I'm just going to place them on here for now. And I'm going to not turn my back on my site here or anything like that. Do hand hygiene. Here it is. And you're immediately going to go ahead and put on that second set of gloves. I only needed one alcohol swab, so that's all done. So here I go. Second set of gloves here. Boom. There they are. And you see, yes you can. Alright, so we got them open here. Make sure that you're grabbing, this one's trying to come out there. So, if they get stuck like that, like mine kind of stuck to the thing there, shake them down a little bit. If they're still stuck, you can come this way to open it, or come this way to open it. Just make sure that you're staying sterile throughout here. Alright, here we go. So here, whoo, my hands are hot. Goes with my right hand. And these ones are definitely smaller. That's okay. There we go. Get under there. Keep your hitchhiker thumb out. If you need help, remember, let me turn it so you can see. If you need help, remember, if you can't get your fingers under there, you can start opening the bottom here of the glove and put your left hand in. As long as you don't use that thumb to help you get your gloves on here. Alright. There we go. And there we go. And there goes my voice. Hopefully it stays. Alright. Remember, you have your mask on this whole time. So now you're going to reach into your kit and you are going to arrange it. So let me tell you what you have here. You have your stat lock. And what you're going to do with that is you're going to just open a little bit of it so it's easy to put on. Okay, so here we go. Let me show you. We just want a sliver of the sticky stuff to be shown. You will get points taken off every week in lab if you do not adhere to this rule. That's because these don't come off of the mannequin very easily, and you just get your one stat lock. Alright, so make sure that, and even when you do your check off, we're not applying it all the way. We just want a little sliver there. I'm going to place that back into my kit. There are some things here I can get rid of. So I don't need this tape. I'm going to get it out of my way. This is hand sanitizer, Sanny Hands. I don't need that. This came with your stat lock. I'm going to keep it to remember that I kept with my stat lock, but you actually do not need it. It serves as a piece underneath of it. Like if you needed like a little pants, something like that. Skin protectant. We will need that. There's that. Here's my bio patch. This thing here we don't need for what we're doing. Just going to get out all the stuff that I don't need. Right? These gauzes I don't need. Like if you were taking the CVC dressing out, these are the alcohol swab sticks that were way at the bottom that you could have used to help, but since they're way at the bottom, we don't want to contaminate the rest of your kit. This is your chlorhexidine swab stick here. This is what you're going to use to clean with. The kit itself comes with this no sting barrier film, and then your stat lock comes with a skin protectant. Both of those are considered the skin prep here. You could use either one of those, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, and then you would open one of those and get it ready. Now right now both of my hands are sterile, so I'm going to go ahead and open it, and don't touch it though. Like right now, I'm just going to place all that back in there. Just so it's ready to go. Because it'll make your hands real sticky. Just opening it so that later I can go ahead and get it. Alright, so now you're going to pick a sterile and a clean / dirty hand. Even if I'm right or left-handed, because the dressing is on this side of the patient, and because you need to now watch crossing over. You know, dirty cannot cross over top of sterile. Okay, so remember that. Your dirty hand cannot cross over top of your sterile hand. Your dirty hand cannot cross over top of the sterile site or anything like that. Once you actually use the skin prep, that is when your hand becomes dirty / clean, because skin, you know, once you use something wet, it transfers, so the microbes on the skin are getting transferred through the skin prep pad there. So then you actually do have a dirty hand. But in order to keep everything good and everybody on the same page here, what we're going to do is we're going to reach in the kit with our sterile hand and apply things with our clean hand. So I'm going to pick that my clean hand is my right hand. Why? Because, well, then my left hand is up here. It's going to be the one that stabilizes the site. I would do this probably no matter which handedness I was, because if I tried to switch these, okay, if I tried to use my right hand, then my left hand, if that was the dirty one, it's going to cross over that right one a lot. So if I were you, no matter which one you are, I would probably, because this is on the right side, choose my left hand as my sterile and my right hand as my clean one. Alright, so just to get into that practice here, I'm going to go reach into my kit, because my kit is sterile, with the hand that I'm going to keep sterile. I'm going to transfer it over. And you guys are actually, you can crack these. Crack it and then shake it. And what you're going to do first is you're going to go to the insertion site here, and you're going to scrub back and forth for 30 seconds. So you're going to count for 30 seconds. And you're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, I wasn't really counting. So we're going to say that that was 30 seconds. And then you're going to start going down the line. So this is where that sterile hand has to start coming down here and stabilize. So what you cannot do is go all the way down the line on the front and then come back up the bottom of the line, because that would be going from something dirty down here and bringing it back up. So once you've done your 30-second scrub, then you're going to stabilize the site, and you're going to go like around it a little bit, on top and under, and on top. Can you see this? I think so. And under, on top. Make sure you scrub that hub. Get under the hub and under. And then you do want to do the lines. Now remember, your left hand is the sterile one. It cannot come down here below the hub here. Okay, and yours will have ports on it too. Make sure you clean the ports and all that kind of stuff. So one and done. So make sure when you throw this out that you're not coming back over top of your sterile field. I'm just going to bring it over here. I'm going to keep it, because I'm going to practice. All that kind of stuff, and you're going to allow that to air dry. Do not fan it dry. And then you're going to reach into your kit with your sterile hand, and you are going to pull out. So with my left hand, hopefully that dries soon. I'm going to pull out that skin prep here that I have opened. It's already opened, and I'm actually going to apply that with my right hand. So this is actually when your right hand becomes not sterile anymore, because skin is never sterile. It can be disinfected, but it's not sterile. So what you're going to do, this does not go on the site itself up here. It goes around the site and where that stat lock is going to go. So I'm not going to cross over my my insertion site though. So what I'm going to do is come down like this, and you're just going to show us where it goes. In fact, you could just leave it in the package. You are not allowed to actually place this onto the mannequin because it makes it so that nothing comes off. I'm just showing you where it goes here. So it goes this way, but you do have to do the motions, whether it's in the package or out like this. You're going to put it down where the stat block is, and you can hold it, you can stabilize at the site here, and with this hand, see now this hand is officially dirty. I'm going to move this over that way so I can get over this way. So there is my skin prep there. I never went over the actual site itself. Alright, so now I'm done with that. And my hands are sticky. Now you're going to reach into your kit with your sterile hand, and you're going to pick up that stat lock. You're going to transfer that stat lock into your dirty hand here, okay, so that you can place it. So be careful, because you can't be touching those that clear part there. The arrows need to be pointed up towards the patient's head. What you need to do is at the site here, the sterile hand is back up at the site. You're going to judge where you need this to go here. And what you've got to do, there are these little blue things here. Once you have it about where you think it needs to go, you're going to guide it in with these blue little tabs here. Of course, I've got one. There we go. So my dirty hand is down below. My sterile hand is up here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going, can you see that? Let me look. So it's open right now. So what I'm going to do is just, so this is where you also might need to have your instructor stabilize it, but it should be okay. You're not going to touch the hub itself. You're just going to close these little things here. So you're not actually touching the hub, you're just touching the plasticky part. Okay, this one's up here stabilizing it, then you're going to let it go. Boom. And I closed them with my clean hand down here. Sorry, I lost track of my thoughts there. Why? Because the last thing you got to do is you got to, with your sterile hand, pick up this bio patch here, and you've got to, can you see it kind of? You have to kind of like open it with the one hand, and you'll see there's like a little crease here in it. The blue side goes up. What you're going to do is place it over it, and you're going to rotate that bio patch under the line itself. So the line is stabilized here, so you shouldn't be worried about, you shouldn't be pulling it out or anything. You're just going to turn it. It starts at like 6 o'clock when you put it on, and you're going to turn it so that the crease, or that opening part, is at 7 o'clock. Like if this was a clock, okay, you want it to be at 7 o'clock. Alright. Then the last thing you got to do is you've got to put this Tegaderm dressing on. Might as well just reach in with your sterile hand to get, not really sterile that much anymore. What you do need to worry about, okay, there are things on here, and you don't need to take them off. Like these are your pants. This is where your date, time, and initials go there. What you need to worry about is when you open this. You want to open it even though, you know, you still have your mask on and stuff, the sticky part is going to be away from you. So this is considered a sterile package, kind of. All it is. And these ends right here, I can hold these ends because they're not sticky. Don't touch the clear part right there. You're going to take it, you're going to turn towards your patient, make sure nothing is in the way here. Start up at the bio patch, make sure the entire bio patch is within the clear part. You're going to bring it down over your stat lock here. You want the clear part, at least of the stat lock, to be in the dressing. You're going to pat it down. I left both, some people just leave these on until the end, these extra pieces. Then you're going to take the outside of the dressing off. Okay, but these are my pants. I'm going to leave the pants, okay? This is my date, time, and initial thing. Here, I'm going to make sure that it's all covered up. I'm going to take my pants here. Place one. Oh, the pants go under the line here. So I'm making it go under so that it keeps it from coming off. So it's under like that. Alright. Whew. Make sure that the line is not kinked on your thing right here. You can go ahead and remove your mask, remove their mask. You still need to date, time, and initial, but I'm going to do that without my gloves on so that my pen doesn't get all whatever. So whatever today's date is, I don't know. You guys need to put your whole name on there, first and last name, when you guys are practicing, because so we can monitor who has done which dressing, and if your stat lock and everything is applied correctly. You're going to place this on the dressing. Don't put it over top of the insertion site. It just needs to be off to the side somewhere. Alright. You could go ahead. You could move this all off to the side. So put your side rail up. I'm going to show you a couple extra things here, since it is the end, how to set your thing back up. So make sure that you return the bed to the lowest position. Side rails are both up, that you've done your hand hygiene, that there's no kinking. I already said that. And make sure you document afterwards. So there are a couple different dressings. So everything in your kit you're going to keep. The old stat lock that was on here becomes yours. The old bio patch that was on here becomes yours. The only thing you need new every time is a Tegaderm. So I did see that they sent some different kind of Tegaderm this time. If you have the old kind of Tegaderm, it looks just like the one that I just used. So it has both the date, time, and initial thing, as well as the pants. The pants that go underneath there. The new ones that they sent me, no, it was the same thing. They do not have the pants, okay? They just have the date and time and initial thing, and it's smaller. So if you get one of these at the end, if you get one of these, yes, you're going to go ahead and date, time, and initial your thing first, and then you're going to place the date, time, and initial under here for practicing purposes, okay, as the pants. So make sure that you put your date, time, and initial like off to the side, not exactly where those little stripes are. You can't really see them, but their stripes are in the middle. So put your date, time, and initial off to the side so that you can go ahead and just use this for practicing purposes in lab as the pants as well. So when you go to do your, 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 like clean up here. to get your thing set back and ready to go. Make sure, so the Tegaderms come in these packages when you come to practice. Open it up because it doesn't come in the package. It just comes naked like this. Put that in the bottom of your kit. And then you want to find your skin prep here. So put your skin prep. The one that came with the kit is this blue one. That goes in there. Your little doodad here for hexadine, for prep goes in there. There was gauze in the bottom here. Gauze goes in the bottom. Alcohol swab sticks. What else we have? This drape. We had this tape in there. We had this hand sanitizer stuff in the package as well. And then you had the sterile gloves. So fold those things upright. So I'm not going to fold them. And make sure your gloves are in here. That came out of the package. Put the gloves in there. And then put your 2 masks in here on top of the gloves. Alright? And then you'll have your extra set of sterile gloves in that package ready to go. Then you need to take the stat lock that was on the patient. Place that in your stat lock package here. And then the stat lock itself came with this foam thing that can go underneath to make sure that there's not skin breakdown. And then it came with the skin prep that I actually used here that came in with the green. That goes in there. Bio patch. Take the bio patch off. Put it back in here. So you're ready to go for the next time. You have that. And you have your sterile gloves there. And that's how you're going to get ready to set up. One more thing I wanted to tell you real fast is that when you do the dressing change, we're not having you check off on this, but you also want to change the ports. And this guy just happened to not have a port on here. So that's wonderful. So you can do this with just regular gloves on here, and you're using sterile technique. So let me just go ahead and plop one on here so we can see. What was it? Okay, so there we go. So this is the port that we're going to change here. This happens to have a clamp this way. And you clamp it like this so that when you take the port off, it's not just going air directly into their line there, which is you have to have it clamped in order to change the port itself. If it does not have a clamp, you want to make sure that you're using hemostats. Ensure the patient, these are not scissors. I'm just going to go ahead and clamp that for you so that we don't get air into your line. There are plastic hemostats. There are also metal hemostats. Really make sure that they understand these are not scissors. We're just going to use this to clamp your line. All right. And then you would open this like so. And the sterile part is that needs to stay sterile. Let's see if you can see. It comes with this little white cap. Okay. So what's under that cap is what needs to stay sterile here. So what I'm going to do is open that one, take that off, keep it away from me, and I'm going to attach these two things together in a twist. After you're done with that, you're going to take your syringes full of saline, and you're going to flush the line. Before you flush the line, I do want to tell you that you need to clean the ports with alcohol And what I see sometimes people like just do a little swipe. That's not cleaning. You need to actually scrub the ports. Alright, you need to do this for all IVs, whether they're PICC lines or peripherals. Alright, and then you would attach your saline on there. Pull back for a little blood return. Make sure that it's not clamped. So, you know, make sure if there was a clamper, that it was unclamped. And then you're going to flush with your saline to make sure that the port itself actually works. And you take your saline off. And then this just hangs out like this. That's why you clean it each time. And it's not just a wipe, it's a scrub. Alright, so that I think is everything I was going to show you for today.